Welcome back to the Stephan Show. My name is Graham and welcome to my show. And so many of you guys have sent me this video, so much so that I gotta watch it and I gotta react to it. And that is by a YouTuber named Monica Church. And I didn't realize she has a second channel. It is called, wait for it, Millennial Life Crisis. You know this channel is already right up my alley with that sort of name and with the title of the video as What I Spend in a Week in Seattle as a 24-year-old. She forgot to end that title with Millennial Life Crisis. That would have just been the icing on the cake. But one quick thing I noticed here is that she spelt my name wrong. In the description, we got a roaster for it. She says, Graham Stevens. My name is not that difficult to pronounce or spell. It's Graham Stephan. I've had people call me Graham Stephenson, Graham Stephen, Graham Stevenson, Graham Stevens. It's Stephan. And then, of course, not to be one of those grammar people or anything like that, but technically, a first and last name is supposed to be capitalized. She capitalized Seattle, though, so at least that's a start. But anyway, a lot of you guys said I would be very upset by seeing the contents of this video, so let's give it a shot and let's see how upset I'm going to be at Monica Church and Millennial Life Crisis. Here we go.
Hi everyone, my name is Monica Church and I live in Seattle, Washington. I'm 24 years old. This is what I spend in a week. Okay, I started this challenge on a Saturday and the only thing I spent money on that Saturday was groceries.
Oh, she went to Whole Foods. Jeez, that's one of the most expensive places out there, Whole Foods. Why? Everything at Whole Foods, minimum is 50% more expensive than any other store. You could go across the street and get the same thing, but you walk into Whole Foods and they just jack up the prices so high. I realize though my favorite place now to go is Trader Joe's. They have such good prices. They're the ones that I think you should be switching to rather than Whole Foods.
My total at the grocery store was $117.10.
They better have 24-karat gold-plated food for that price. That is a lot of money.
Organic boneless chicken breast, $11. That's overpriced for sure. Probably not my best financial choices on that grocery trip, so that's the first expense.
See, Whole Foods just basically takes you by the legs when you walk in, shakes you upside down, and then whatever money you have on you is now theirs. That's basically what they do.
I spent the night at my parents' house last night. They never have food, I swear. So I'm stopping and getting breakfast at Starbucks.
Oh, going to Starbucks. But see, that doesn't make any sense because that's the entire point of going and visiting your parents' place is that you get free food, right? So then why go to Starbucks right after? Let's see what you'll get at Starbucks, so let's just see.
See you for $4.90, thank you.
Thanks. $4.90, Teddy, what do you think? I don't know what the heck Starbucks puts in these, but they are scrumptious.
Yeah, anyway, for $5, it's really just not that much food.
This is just a very sad meal. I'll have you guys know I have plain salmon with just olive oil, nothing else, plain broccoli, not cooked at all, and rice from a bag that you heat up in 2 minutes, but it's coconut rice, and the flavor just does not go with the salmon at all.
See, admittedly, I don't even eat that well, but I don't get the point. If you're gonna go to Whole Foods and spend all of this money and a premium on buying all this food, why so plain? Like, to get a whole thing of pesto is not that much money. It's a few dollars. Spread that thing with pesto. Spread it with butter. Put on like soy sauce or teriyaki or like some sort of seasoning on that. Same thing with the broccoli. You can mix in so many easy seasonings that make it taste like 1,000 times better instead of eating it plain. Just if you're gonna spend the extra money on it, you may as well just go 1% further and have it taste really good too. I'm out of chocolate. It's like an emergency, you guys. It's honestly an emergency. I need chocolate so bad. To hit the order minimum, I had to like spend $3 more, so naturally I spent $12 on a bottle of wine. My total that I'm spending, with a tip as well, is $24.42. See, those are the impulse purchases you could avoid by just always having a refrigerator stocked full of food. There should never be a moment when you're in your own house and you're hungry. If that's the case, you're doing something wrong and you're gonna be overspending. So always, my number one tip, always have something in the kitchen that you could eat or something in your house that you could snack on until you get to go to the grocery store again and stock up on that.
Good morning, you guys. Made a little breakfast. Feeling pretty proud of myself. We're like halfway through this and I haven't even really gone out to eat this week yet.
Wait a second, is that avocado toast I see? Well, finally, here's a meal I could approve of.
Just got that and some raspberries.
So that, I gotta admit, looks pretty good. It looks like toast with avocado, with smoked salmon, with some greens on top. I actually gotta try making that. That seems pretty decent.
I definitely had some furnishing expenses come up, like why buy a house and not put stuff in it? So this week I did buy a chandelier. I got a chandelier today. The price, it was an absolute steal. Okay, it was on clearance, like the last one they had in the store. They're just trying to unload this thing. I got it for $400, which I know sounds expensive. It is, but the original price was $800.
Is that really that good of a price for a chandelier to go from $800 to $400? Because I feel like even at $400, they're still making quite a profit, but let's see what the chandelier looks like.
It comes like this with a bunch of these plastic hanger things that go on it. As you can see, there's a lot. 500 to be exact. Oh geez, you gotta put it.
See, that's the thing when you buy stuff like this, is that you have to account for how much time it takes you to put together. I've got stuff really cheap sometimes, and then I realize, like, wait a second, it's gonna take me 4 hours to go and put it together, and in those 4 hours, I could be doing pretty much anything else that would make me more money than what I just saved by getting something cheap to begin with and spending 4 hours of my time doing it. Unless, of course, you really enjoy that or can turn that into a YouTube video you can monetize later, in which case, then I should start a channel of putting together furniture. I think that would be really fun.
So I had to stop and get some stuff. I wanted to get cheese. I wanted to do some charcuterie tonight. And I was like, I gotta get honey, because last time that I had one, they had honey and it was really good. And then I was like, well, I don't know what kind of crackers I like, so I'm gonna get 2 and find out which I like better. And I should get more wine, even though I Postmated wine last night. Like, why not get more wine? And then $43.01 later.
Oh man, that's why you always gotta go to the grocery store with a list. That's always what you gotta do. You gotta go in ahead of time with a plan. You gotta go in, write down, okay, I'm gonna get X, Y, Z. That's it. I'm not gonna get anything else. If I'm going to get anything else, I gotta go back home, make another list, and then go a few days from now. And chances are, a few days later, you're not gonna want the same things that you thought you wanted. So that is my #1 saving tip when grocery shopping, is just make a list and stick to it.
Just got my hair cut and styled. Time to pay up. What's it gonna be? It's nice because it feels like I got a color service done, because anytime I go, I usually never only get a haircut.
$125 for a haircut. That's something, again, I just can't understand that. My haircuts are $31 every other month. It seems like it would be really easy just to sit there and just, because you can kind of see your hair if you have longer hair, just sit there and cut like the bottom 2 inches off yourself. You could do that in 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes max, but you could save $125. But again, I don't know about these things, and this is certainly not my specialty.
She needs help with a video on Monday in Los Angeles, and she just told me that today. Today is Wednesday, so I'm gonna look up flights for Monday, Seattle, Los Angeles. But I always do it last minute, and flights are always expensive. Immediately what I'm seeing is $500. But this is realistic, like travel is a big part of my spending.
So I gotta say $190 for a last minute flight is really good, but that should entirely be free with the term known as credit card churning. When you sign up for a credit card, get the bonus points, use those points towards free flights, especially with the money she's spending on chandeliers and grocery. Just her grocery shopping alone would meet the minimum spend in probably like a month or so. She could literally be going through a new card every single month. Bonus point, bonus point, bonus point. Within a year, she'll have like, I don't know, 400,000 or 500,000 points. Just think of how many round trip plane tickets you could get for free for like almost 500,000 points. You're pretty much doing nothing different than what you're doing now. That's the way to book flights.
At the store, I ended up spending $26.99.
The grocery store again. Why keep going to the grocery store? Why not just make one super list? Go every week, every other week, and just get a whole bunch of stuff one time instead of going and getting a few things and getting more things while you're there and then going back and going to the grocery store again. That stuff adds up.
I'm not doing this to be funny, like this is actually a good way of securing plants, okay? My total was $16.20.
Yeah, I gotta say, that's not that bad for plants. For me too, I see the appeal of having live plants in your place, but I have found that if you go and get fake plants, They last forever, and you don't got to do a single thing to them. This is something I got from Amazon like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, something like this. Looks great. Always looks exactly the same, and I don't have to worry about it not living anymore.
The reason that I wanted to order this, I've done HelloFresh before, like sponsorships, but I've never just paid for it on my own. Link below if you want to get HelloFresh, because if you buy stuff, then it gives me food credit, and then I get free food, and that would be like super dope for like the budget of this video. Clearly, I'm bad at grocery shopping, so.
See, here's the thing. Now I have a feeling she's going to be eating free for the next month or so. Just if like 30 people go and use her referral link for that, like, you know, I'm sure that's enough food to last her for quite some time. It seems pretty good. You know, I would rather just go to the grocery store and buy the individual ingredients yourself instead of going and like paying a premium for everything right there. And then on top of that, you got to do the cooking yourself. Like, I would rather for that price have it already cooked for me. But again, I have a feeling I'm expecting things to be way cheaper than everything actually is just because I don't want to spend the money on it.
This is the print that I got, and it's called like the half circles or something like that. I think it's so pretty. That was nice. It already came framed. Don't have to buy a frame or anything. And it was $225 plus tax. It was this number.
Why is that $225? This is the one area I feel like I just don't completely understand yet. I'm sure at one point, I think art could be pretty interesting, but I look at this and I just don't see anything too complex about it. Like, I think I could go and make this myself for like $20. And that's how I view a lot of the art out there right now. It's just like, how easy would this be for me to do myself? And if it's easy for me to do myself, I wouldn't pay $225 for it. But again, I am not yet in the position where I really know that much about art or can really appreciate something like this. Maybe one day I will get into art collecting, but as of now, I don't yet, or maybe will ever understand it fully, but anyway, to each their own. Then
I went to Trader Joe's, and this was kind of for some of the weekly essentials, but also for the fact that I'm having my parents and my aunt and uncle over, and then tomorrow I'm having all my best friends from high school over, so I got stuff for both of those occasions, and I spent $104.92. Then I got a bunch of wine. I got 14 Hands Hot to Trot, it's like $7. And I got an Erath. I like this brand, Erath. Some nice baguette. So I got an apple cranberry pie.
Yeah, you know, I kind of get that one though. If you're going to be entertaining, you have a lot of people over, you're going to be hosting it. You know, I get you spending a little bit more. But, you know, for the price, I think people would be just as happy if you get like a few large pizzas, maybe an 18-pack of beer for the people who want to drink a little bit, a few wines from Bevmo, and water, you know? And people would be just as happy with all of that. At least I would. I would be just as happy with pizza. But again, that's just me.
How much money I spent this week. I'm truly embarrassed. I spent $1,567.42 in a week.
Wow, over $1,500 a week. And all of these to me just seem like very almost reasonable, normal expenses. It's crazy how much that adds up. And a lot of times you don't really notice this until you begin tracking your spending and begin to see just how fast this stuff adds up and how much you spend on things that in the moment don't really seem like a lot, but when you add it up over a week, it's $1,500.
My biggest expenses this week went to furnishing my house. That is not going to be a normal expense, so I was okay spending a little bit more money. And actually, I can say I'm officially done furnishing my house. Like, I have everything now, and I don't need to spend any more money on that.
So one thing I will say about that in terms of furnishing your house, I get that it's a one-time expense and you're done furnishing it. You're never done furnishing a house. Ever. You can get pretty close to it, but always, guaranteed, there are always little trinkets and things that you will always buy. And then after a while, the one thing you bought that you loved 3 years ago, you're like, oh, I don't like that there anymore. Let me go and replace that with something new. And then you replace it, and then you replace something else, and pretty soon, like 7 years later, everything is new again. And you keep going through that cycle. That's typically what I see end up happening, so it keeps going. It's never ending.
$350 on like at-home grocery type food. I honestly need to fix that. That first grocery trip should be cheaper. I should be going to Trader Joe's or Safeway or something like that, and I should be spending less money and making smarter decisions and just be thinking about like how much each thing costs. And I just didn't even think about it. I was like, whatever.
You know what? I don't even need to say anything because she's just been doing all the talking for me. She's saying what I would say, which makes me proud, but she knows where she's messing up and she knows how she could save, so I don't even need to say it.
To be completely honest with you guys, right now at this point in my life, I am making honestly a lot of money, like way more money than I ever thought I'd make. I'm not trying to brag or anything like that. I just want to let you guys know, like, say rule of thumb, you should be trying to save like 20% of your income, and I actually do save over 50% of what I make. This was a very real week in my life of what I spent. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.
But no, seriously though, let's do a final thought here, okay? I have a feeling that she's making a decent amount of money. I mean, she says it herself, and me knowing other YouTubers and seeing what they're making some really good money. My thing is this, is that now is the time, while she's making a lot of money, to go and save as much of that as possible. Because my biggest concern, I guess, with anything career-related on the internet is just longevity. And I think it's such a new form of media that we really don't know how long something like this is going to last. And I would love to see it last decades. And I'd love to see her have like a multi-decade long career where everything just continues getting better. But I'm also worried that in the event something happens or platforms change, but I would hate for her to look back at this and be like, oh wait, that was my time I could really be saving while I was making all of this money and I was spending so much on groceries, because it doesn't really matter to me because I'm making so much money at this point, so I could be a little spendy over here. That is my biggest concern. And I think once someone gets a big enough nest egg of investments that's kind of supporting their lifestyle, then at that point they could begin to spend a little bit more freely, just knowing that no matter what happens with their career, they're gonna have money coming in no matter what. So it depends, I think, on first of all, how much money she's making, what she's doing with that saved money, how much she has invested, and that will really tell us if this spending is sustainable or not. But as of now, I mean, absolutely save money on groceries, save money on a lot of the little things. But beyond that, I'm sure it could be a lot worse because I don't see any like student loans in here. I don't see any crazy credit card debt or anything like this. So overall, I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's bad. It's still bad. Let me make that clear. So anyway, Monica, thank you so much for making this video, and thank you for everyone who saw this and then went to send it to me. If you see any other videos you want me to watch and react to, just please send them to me. I will watch them, I will react to them, and if they're good enough, I'm going to post them here on the channel. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to destroy the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Add me on Instagram. I post it pretty much daily, so if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there. Also, if you guys want 2 free stocks, use the link down below in the description. Webull is going to give you 2 free stocks when you deposit $100 on their platform, and one of those stocks is going to be valued up to $1,400. So use the link down below in the description if you guys want 2 free stocks. Enjoy that. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.